Hey guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I'm Gio and I'm here for the first match preview of the new season. First of all, it's great to be back on the channel. As many of you were probably wondering where I was. As you know, I live a pretty busy lifestyle, and that is why I haven't been very active on the channel. But with that in mind, I would like to thank Adamo Ritako for always being very supportive of the channel, always making videos, great content on a weekly basis to help you guys stay updated with the latest around the club. With that being said, I am very excited that the Serie A season is finally back. A brand new season, a brand new year for Milan, with, of course, lots of excitement coming with it, with many new great additions and a lot of hope. Especially that is one of the things that many Milan fans have at the moment, given the way that we have started this summer with all these acquisitions, the way we have been playing in the Europa League qualifiers as well. We are pretty much just steps away from qualifying to the group stages after that 6-0 win a few days ago. We are pretty much already in the Europa League group stages. But now we have to shift our focus towards this important match. It's the first game of the Serie A season. Of course, the opener is always a very tricky affair. Not because of the opponent, but it's just, you know, maybe nerves are kicking in. You want to start off on the right foot, and you don't want to be laid back already at the start of the season. So it's definitely a match in which I think Milan have to be very cautious, despite knowing that we are superior than the other team. But Crotone, you know, it's a team that we cannot just count out of the game before starting. As we have seen last year, in the last 8 or 10 matches of the season, Crotone was pretty much invincible at their home ground. They saved themselves from relegation in those last 10 games or so. And that means that, you know, it's definitely a team with character, a team that has threats of their own. And I'm not saying this just because they are playing at home and they are capable of maybe getting a result out of this. But also when we played against them last season, you know, we managed only to pick up a draw, I believe, when we played against them away. So it's definitely, you know, one of those teams that we need to be careful with. Like every other team in the Serie A, especially on opening weekend, you know, anything could happen. Anything could happen, and we have seen it happen over and over again during these past few years. And they have a few key players in which I think we should be careful for. First of all, Ante Burimir. First of all, well, Falcinelli was their striker last year, but he's not playing with them anymore. And now the attention turned to Burimir, and I believe he used to play with Crotone already back in the Serie B, and he used to score a lot of goals for them, so they're gonna be relying on him from now on for this season. Also, another player to watch out is Marcello Trotta, a very physical player that could, you know, trouble defense and, you know, make a lot of movements and create disaster for the opposition. So they have a few players that we should be careful for, and like I said, we should not take them for granted. But without further ado, I would actually like to take a look at our probable starting 11 tomorrow, because of course there are some very interesting decisions here being made by Montella. And not only that, we do know that there are some injuries, certain players currently not being able to play due to their lack of fitness. So these are guys like Romagnoli and Bonaventura. Both will be missing this game. Bonaventura will actually be missing the next 2 or 3 games, but there's nothing too serious with him, and I think the proper precautions are very important to take, especially for Bonaventura, a guy that missed half of the season last year, and you know, we don't want to risk him in these games in particular. So let's take a look at it. Donnarumma in net, Conti, Bonucci, Musacchio, and Rodriguez should make up the back 4. Kessie, Montolivo, maybe Locatelli as the upper hand over him in that role, and Calhanoglu on the left side. Suso, Andre Silva, and Borini up front. Like I said, it's a lineup in which I like. Really should be troubling Crotone on all levels. Suso on that right flank should be definitely very, very threatful, and I think that whole right side will be bringing a lot of threats towards Crotone, as well as the left side. If you take a look at Kalinoglu and Rodriguez, two players that we have seen over the course of the summer in preseason friendlies or in the Europa League qualifiers, being able to deliver perfect balls really to our forwards up there, something that has been lacking in our team for a very long time. So really we have a lot of threats up there, and we should be really dealing with Crotone. There shouldn't be any there should be no excuses whatsoever that we cannot beat them. But like I said before, anything could happen, especially on the opening weekend. With that being said, I would like to give a prediction for this match. I still think it's going to be a tight affair, just because Crotone are at home. Maybe they're riding a bit on that momentum that they picked up during the course of last season, those last games. And, you know, they want to start off well in front of their home fans. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 Milan win. I think there's definitely going to be goals in this one. But Crotone will not walk away in this game empty-handed. I think they will get a goal. So either 2-1 or 3-1 Milan win in this one. That's my prediction. Let me know your thoughts, of course, in the comments section below. And I'll be reading your thoughts for the next 10 minutes or so. Very excited to see what you guys think about this lineup. Do you think it could go very far? Maybe in this game itself, could it be good enough to beat Crotone? And also, maybe what changes would you bring to this lineup? What do you think about the additions in general? Maybe if you guys have a few transfer inquiries yourself that you would like me to answer, let me know as well, because I know I have been absent for the past 2 to 3 weeks on the channel, and many people were probably wondering and wanting to ask me questions. So yeah, make sure you do that in the comments section, and I'll get to you right away. Jeffrey says it's a strong lineup. He likes the lineup. M3 Romano says, why not Niang? Well, Niang is actually on the verge of transferring, if I'm not mistaken. I know there was a particular interest from Spartak Moscow, and I believe in the recent developments, Niang is still unsure of whether or not he will be wanting to go to Spartak Moscow, and I think his agent is telling him, wait, relax a bit, and maybe, you know, evaluate your other options before making a very, you know, fast approach, fast decision to join the Russian club. Abdullahi says a 4-0 Milan win. That's his prediction. Gavin Boateng says, are we going to buy a winger? Not sure if we're gonna go buy a winger, but at the moment, you know, anything can still happen with about 10 to 12 days left in the transfer window. I think that, you know, Kalinic is definitely gonna be coming, should be coming next week. But winger, I'm not yet so sure. Jeffrey says 3-0 Silva hat-trick. As always, he always likes to give the times he believes that the goals will come. Arya says, have you bought a new Milan shirt yet? Not yet, but I am planning to buy the new Milan jersey. I just love how it looks, and I will be buying it this season for sure. Super Swagman says, don't leave, Gio. YouTube has gone to shit since your last video. I'm not leaving. Like I said before, I'm just extremely busy every day. Just, you know, ordinary life things. And unfortunately, I don't have as much time as I used to make these videos, but especially on weekends where I do have more time, rest assured I will be making them. And thankfully we do have a Damo that during the week, you know, he's able to help out and publish the videos himself whenever he makes them. Mustafa says, I was one of the people who was against signing Borini, but he impressed me in the friendly matches. I mean, he is not that bad. He's a good substitute. And that's exactly what I was saying whenever he joined. When he joined, I was disagreeing with a lot of people, you know, telling me at least, saying that Borini is not the player that we need. Of course, he's not a guy that's going to be starting every game, but he is a good substitute player, guys. You have to understand that, you know, he's the man that I believe could make the difference whenever coming off the bench. So it's good to have depth. I think we need depth at all cylinders really this season, because we will be playing in 3 competitions: the Serie A, the Coppa Italia, the Europa League. You know, we cannot have guys playing every week, every game. There's going to be weeks where we're going to be playing 3 games in the span of 7 days. You think someone will be able to play 3 games in 7 days? I personally don't think so. So we're going to need that rotation. And this is when guys like Borini, you know, they're there at our disposal to play. Do I think Milan will sign Aubameyang? I have been receiving this question since April, I think. It's like 4 months I've been saying the same thing. I don't know. You know, anything could happen. Like I said, 10 days remaining. But I believe it's very difficult that Milan will be landing Aubameyang this summer. MacArthur says, who is the new transfer you like the most? For me, Kessie is a beast. Kessie definitely, maybe not the top of my list, but definitely my top 2 or 3. I've seen him play this preseason and then the qualifiers, and the strength that this guy has in that midfield and what he could also contribute up front is absolutely ridiculous. I think Kessie will have a phenomenal season with Milan, and it's great to have, you know, guys like that, especially in our midfield, since our midfield has been lacking so much in recent years. So definitely great to see guys like Calhanoglu, Kessie being introduced here in the team, and you know, I'm definitely hoping and definitely think that, you know, these guys will make a very big difference for Milan. Manuel has another comment here on Borini. He says, I think Borini is an interesting player. Even though most of Milanisti don't like him, he has created really good chances and he has also given us some free kicks playing smart. Adam says, a good signing will be Nabil Fekir from Lyon because he can play striker and also on the wing. Sujan says, if we go for a midfielder and a winger, who would you like? I'm always, you know, undecisive when it comes to choosing players, because I believe that, you know, every player that Milan has chosen so far this this summer is definitely a piece in the puzzle, a big puzzle that, you know, needs to be completed bit by bit. And guys like that we already have, like I said before, Kessie, Calhanoglu, these are guys that we needed. Up front, you know, Kalinic is gonna come. I'm not saying he's a massive upgrade over Bacca, but I think he could be a lot better than Bacca. Bacca missed so many chances last season, even though you know, he had the opportunity. And I think, you know, maybe getting some fresh blood in the team like Kalinic could do us good, and he's also going to be getting good support. Not sure the type of formation Milan's going to play, if Kalinic and Andre Silva will be paired up together. Most probably they will be going with a 4-4-2. So, you know, I think they could definitely contribute well together, and I'm very excited to see where, you know, these two could go. Mustafa says, Gio, what's your prediction for Milan in this season? What ranking? Very good question, because, you know, last season I actually gave my prediction and I believe I got it right, if I'm not mistaken. I said 6th. I'm not quite sure. But I believe that Milan will be ending in the top 4. Highest, maybe 3rd. I'm definitely hoping for 3rd or 4th. But anything could happen. Maybe we could even surprise everyone and end higher than that. But realistically, I think 3rd or 4th is where Milan will be ending. And let's be honest, they need to end in those positions if we want to be playing in the Champions League next year. So we need to end in that top 4. That's the main priority. Don't really care where we end in that top 4. Obviously, if we end first, even better. But the main priority, the goal for this season is to get back to the Champions League next year. And for that, we need to end in the top 4. And also, I would like to see how Milan, you know, evaluates the Europa League at the same time. Because I think that, you know, they should be going for the Europa League as well. They should be playing this competition as they will be playing in the Serie A. They need to continue playing, you know, as they should. They shouldn't just be taking this competition, the Europa League, for granted, playing their substitutes. I don't want to see that. I want to actually see them challenge for the Europa League. And, you know, whoever wins the Europa League gets a spot in the Champions League. So you never know. In the end, the season could play these little tricks on you, and you might need that Europa League at the end of the day. So we'll see exactly what happens there. Also, another comment here from Abdullahi says, the reason why I said that Milan will win is that they are in very good shape. If you look at the last match, the way Milan playing now, they're playing with spirit and also technically very good. Now, let's be honest, that team from Macedonia is not a team that we will be facing again this season in terms of caliber. Because I didn't watch the game, I'll be honest with you guys, but I saw the highlights and I was watching it with some friends of mine, and we couldn't help but just laugh at the team because they had no coordination, no organization, nothing at all going for them. So yes, I mean, we beat them 6-0, and I think we deserve to beat them 6-0 even more. I'm not surprised at all that we beat them that much, just because that caliber of the team was so much inferior to us. But, you know, going forward, yes, I do agree with you there. We need to continue with this exact momentum, energy, chemistry, whatever you want to call it. And I like the positivity that this team finally seems to have in them when they play. And hopefully this will be the story of our season, because as we all know, especially the guys that have been sticking around for the past 4 or 5 years, as we all know, there's those games that Milan come out to play, they come out with full energy, and then there's those games where they're absolutely sleeping, walking, not even wanting to play. And I think this has finally changed. Also, with the presence of Bonucci, let's not forget him coming in, having that winning mentality that he had at Juventus all along for the past 6-7 years. You know, that's the type of player that we need. A guy that has a leadership and could enforce that leadership on the players in our team. Not like a guy like Montolivo, that he was captain, but I never saw him speaking once. I never saw him yelling at someone. I never saw him with Grinta coming in, game in and game out. So finally we have a guy with a winning mentality like Bonucci, and I think this will definitely make a big change for the good part in the locker room, at least. David says FC Canosa was better than that team. Exactly. And if you guys don't know FC Canosa, they're the next big team. They're actually investing lots of millions, and soon they will be making a push from the Eccellenza all the way to the Serie A in just a matter of years. I've actually had contacts with the owner. So yeah, exactly that. Mustafa says, Joe, do you think we need more reinforcements or that's enough? I would like to have 1 or 2 more reinforcements. I think it's still possible. I'm not saying I'm not satisfied at all with what we got so far, but if we are capable of getting 1 or 2 more, I'll be more than happy. Mamadou agrees with that. Bonucci's a great great motivation, and a leader. Paul Sol says, ciao Gio, great to see you back again. Great to see you. Hafiz says, we still need some decent quality on the attack. Anli said, we're not done signing. Who do you think can give us a big hand? Well, like I said, I think Kalinic at this moment is the favorite to actually join our club. Maybe someone else might come in, but I think that Kalinic is pretty much done. It's a done deal. Maybe someone else could join. I'm not sure who at the moment. Because the thing is with Milan is that they have been surprising us all summer long. It's not like we have ever, besides maybe Conti, most of the players, it's not like we have spent weeks and weeks negotiating with their agents, with their clubs, in order to sign them. They have been very spontaneous, quick, unexpected signings, just like we saw with Bonucci. And that's why I can't really tell you, who's the next signing gonna be. These things could come out of nowhere, like we saw with Bonucci. One or two more questions before I sign off. Dwayne says, I'd say the arrival of Kalinic because of his Serie A experience and a decent midfielder with tip-off would have been a good mercato. And I completely agree with that. He's not bad, Kalinic. He's definitely not bad. And I think he's a little upgrade over Baka. Not a massive upgrade. But let's not forget, we have our primary striker, Andre Silva, ready to destroy teams. So I think it will be a very good compliment for him. And I believe that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. Just a few announcements before I sign off. Of course, tomorrow we will be back, finally, with the live stream watch-alongs. For those of you that are unfamiliar with this, it's pretty much a chance for you guys to ask me questions and communicate with me during the course of the match as we watch the match together. I will be commenting on the match as it goes on, giving you guys feedback on what I think about certain players, the way Milan is playing. And some of you are already familiar with this, as I have already done it last season. For those of you that will not be tuning in and that live in Montreal, don't forget that tomorrow, Milan Club Montreal will be present at Bar Ciociaro to watch the game. So if you guys want to go there, grab a drink, maybe have a nice little espresso with a gelato on the side, perfect opportunity to do that in Montreal with the Milan Club. So make sure to actually follow ACM Club MTL on Twitter for more information on that. And I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow for the watch along. Make sure to watch the Serie A this weekend. The opening weekend is always great. Lots of excitement. So on that note, don't forget to subscribe to Rossoneri TV to stay updated with everything going on at the club. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, Forza Milan.